Khamzat Chimaev was once the big buzz in MMA, but things have taken a turn. From his explosive debut to a recent string of events, the excitement has shifted gears. Starting with his exciting wins, fans loved his aggressive style, but lately it's been a bumpy ride. From a close fight with Gilbert Burns to another razor-thin decision win over Kamaru Usman, Khamzat's journey isn't as smooth as before. In this video, we'll look at how Khamzat might be messing up his career, we'll dig into why he disappeared for a long time and his travel troubles, plus his big ego and some controversial moments in training. Let's get into it. Khamzat Chimaev's story began with him being a big deal in the MMA world. Growing up in the Russian Republic of Chechnya, he started wrestling at just 5 years old. Then he moved to Sweden and built a strong record of 12-0 in pro tournaments. Training with Alexander Gustafsson at the All-Star Training Center, people had high hopes for him. We have a nice video depicting what may have created the savage attitude of Khamzat, and you can check it out by clicking this card here. His UFC debut in July 2020 was like a blast. He won on short notice and set records for consecutive victories. Fans loved his fearless approach, taking on enemies with quick turnarounds, and even moving up in weight. Things were looking up for Khamzat, and everyone was eager to see his clash with Leon Edwards. But setbacks came, like fight cancellations due to COVID-19 and a brief retirement scare. Fighters seemed hesitant to face him, and there were more cancellations due to the pandemic. Despite all this, Khamzat made a strong comeback, winning decisively against Li Jingliang. However, the turning point came in a close battle with Gilbert Burns, setting the stage for unexpected events in his journey. In April 2022, Khamzat Chimaev faced Gilbert Burns in a fight that didn't go as smoothly as his previous dominant performances. It was a back-and-forth battle, unlike what fans were used to seeing from him. Despite the challenges, Khamzat managed to secure a close 29-28 decision in his favor. This fight marked a turning point in Khamzat's journey. Fans who were accustomed to his invincible aura started questioning whether he was as unstoppable as they thought. The victory wasn't as decisive as before, leaving people eager to see how Khamzat would bounce back. Egregious weight miss. Following the fight against Gilbert Burns, fans were eagerly anticipating Khamzat Chimaev's next move. However, what came next was totally unexpected. A matchup with none other than Nate Diaz. The excitement was palpable, but a twist emerged. When Khamzat stepped on the scales, the numbers didn't add up. He missed weight by a significant margin, a whopping 8 pounds over the welterweight limit. This unexpected turn led to the bout being rescheduled, with Kevin Holland stepping in for Diaz. Despite the change, Khamzat managed to secure an impressive win against Holland. However, the aftermath left fans with mixed feelings. Khamzat's attitude after the fight didn't sit well with many. Dana White stated that Khamzat's future as welterweight is done, and he has to move up to middleweight, which he did. He squandered his opportunity for a welterweight title, so at this point, he obviously can only become a double champ and not a triple champ. Attempting to shine against a popular non-wrestler ended in disappointment, raising questions about his future in the UFC. The reaction to missing weight and the demeanor displayed after the fight left fans disheartened. Long period of inactivity. After the impressive win against Kevin Holland, the MMA world saw no signs of Khamzat Chimaev for a whopping 13 months. No fights, no appearances. Fans, once eager to witness his performances, started growing impatient, wondering what had happened during this prolonged silence. During this period of inactivity, Khamzat didn't keep quiet. Over 50 callouts echoed through the MMA world, suggesting potential matchups in different weight classes. Despite the vocal announcements, the lack of actual action in the octagon left fans scratching their heads. What was happening behind the scenes that left him away from the spotlight for such an extended period? Dana White's statement about personal issues contributing to Khamzat's absence added another layer to the mystery. The prolonged period of inactivity left fans wondering about the future of the fighter who had once captured their excitement and curiosity. Travel issues. One recurring challenge in Khamzat Chimaev's journey has been his struggle with travel. From troubles entering the US in January 2022 to having his passport confiscated in Russia by October 2022, getting around has been a bumpy road for the fighter. Khamzat's close connection to Chechen warlord Ramzan Kadyrov has been a contributing factor to these travel challenges. The connections with Kadyrov may have resulted in entry denials to the US. For Khamzat, this political involvement scenario in his MMA career could prove to be more threatening than initially thought. The worry is that these travel issues might limit where he fights in the future. impacting the frequency of his appearances in the UFC. With speculation about Kadyrov's influence on Khamzat, the travel challenges add another layer of complexity to the uncertainty surrounding his career. Return against Kamaru Usman. After a prolonged period of silence, Khamzat Chimaev stepped back into the octagon for a highly anticipated clash with Kamaru Usman. The air was thick with anticipation, with fans eager to see if the fighter, once hailed for his dominance, could reclaim the spotlight. The fight unfolded and it wasn't a walk in the park. Khamzat Chimaev and Kamaru Usman went head-to-head, with controversy brewing over the judge's decision. Despite a strong start in the first round, Khamzat seemed to fade in the later rounds. When the final scores were announced, it was a close call, 29-27 in favor of Khamzat Chimaev. The decision left fans divided, with many feeling that the fight should have been a draw, with Khamzat securing the first round as a 10-8 round and Kamaru securing the next two rounds as 10-9 rounds. This return marked a significant moment in Khamzat's journey, raising questions about whether he could maintain his previous dominance and how this close bout might impact his standing in the UFC. Ego and controversies. Khamzat Chimaev, known for his big ego, became famous for dominating every fighter on his way. His words after each fight, "Give me anybody, I'm coming for everybody," echoed through the MMA world. While it's normal for elite fighters to have some ego, Khamzat has raised concerns. Complaints surfaced about him going too hard on sparring partners and showing a lack of respect during training. This behavior in the gym didn't sit well with some, and it added another layer to the controversy surrounding Khamzat. Sean Strickland famously told Khamzat, "You're better than everyone here, so please take it easy." If Sean Strickland has to tell you to chill, you know you're doing something wrong. There's also a video showing Khamzat taking on a mentor role for Chechen warlord Ramzan Kadyrov's sons in their MMA journey. Training with the young fighters at an MMA facility owned by Kadyrov, Khamzat found himself on the receiving end during sparring. The footage shows him being dropped and eventually choked out by Kadyrov's sons. Obviously, neither of Kadyrov's sons nor Kadyrov himself are trained to the point they could do that to Khamzat, and clearly he's playing along like a jester in the court of the king. This raised eyebrows about the support Khamzat receives from Kadyrov and the potential impact of this mentorship on his professional career. Kadyrov connection and lavish gifts. Khamzat Chimaev's connection to Chechen warlord Ramzan Kadyrov has raised questions about potential political involvement in his MMA career. Speculations arose when Khamzat criticized Khabib Nurmagomedov, suggesting that Kadyrov might have influenced him in doing so. Notably, after Khamzat's victory at UFC 294, Kadyrov went the extra mile by giving him a flashy 2024 VG wagon. The video moments of the sparring session where Khamzat found himself on the receiving end showcased the extent of support and lavish gifts he receives from Kadyrov. These connections and gifts add intrigue to the narrative, leaving fans wondering about the potential influence on Khamzat's career and the implications for his future in the UFC. What's also perplexing to people is that Khamzat did not have to put himself in this position at all. His family fled Chechnya to Sweden precisely so that Khamzat is free from the influence of Kadyrov and by extension Putin. It is remarkable that Khamzat would throw all that away just to be Kadyrov's personal toy, and as a result would face difficulties traveling to the United States and fighting less often. He even renounced his status in Sweden and is supposedly a national of UAE currently. After his fight with Kamaru Usman, Khamzat seemed to have finally done something right by telling the crowd that when it comes to the current conflict in the Middle East that we all know about, it doesn't matter who you support. It is heartbreaking to see children suffer. No one would argue with that. However, he decided to throw it all away during the Chechen portion of his interview, where he asked Ramzan Kadyrov for permission and a rifle, as if he himself cannot afford neither a ticket nor a rifle to go to the region and become a martyr. These are loud words that did not need to be said. If that's the way Khamzat truly feels, he could have just done it. At the end of the day, it remains to be seen how Khamzat will respond to the criticism and uncertainty. Will he overcome the challenges and regain the momentum that made him a standout in the MMA world? Only time will tell. If you enjoyed this breakdown of Khamzat Chimaev's journey, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more updates on the latest happenings in the world of MMA. Thanks for watching.